all started at the office. You know, that magical place where fun goes to die, and microwaves still smell like fish from 2016. Cheryl, the self-proclaimed queen of quizzes, decided to break the midweek gloom with a riddle. She turns to Karen, yes, that Karen, who still thinks fax machines are the future, and goes, "Hey Karen, I have a riddle for you. How many pancakes can you eat on an empty stomach?" Karen tilts her head like a confused golden retriever. "I don't know. Maybe 3? Cheryl smirks. "Wrong. Just 1. Because after that, your stomach isn't empty anymore." Cue the office exploding in polite chuckles, followed by Phil laughing like he just inhaled a helium balloon and 2 cups of espresso. Karen nods, determined to pass the riddle along. She's gonna slay with this at home. Karen gets home, tosses her keys in the same bowl she always misses, and corners her husband Greg, who's elbow deep in assembling a bookshelf from IKEA. Shelf is winning. "Karen, Greg, pause your suffering for a sec. I got a riddle for you." Greg, without looking up, "Is it about where that one screw goes? Because I swear I've checked every page twice." Karen, "No, listen. How many pancakes can you eat on an empty stomach?" Greg squints. 5. Karen throws her arms in the air. "Ah, you ruined it. If you'd said 1, I had a punchline. You never cooperate with the script of my life." Greg, "Sorry I exceeded your comedy expectations. Want me to say 1 now and you can try again?" Karen, "Too late. The magic is gone. Just like that shelf peg you lost." Karen is not a quitter. She tries again the next day. This time, she ambushes their 9-year-old son, Aiden. Karen, "Hey buddy, how many pancakes do you think you could eat on an empty stomach?" Aiden, "A boy raised on logic puzzles and Mario Kart? Half. Because if I eat it, my stomach's not technically empty anymore, right?" Karen, "No, the joke is wait. That's actually correct. Okay, next victim." She tries the barista, the dog walker, the UPS guy. Same fail. Every time. Karen, "You know what? I'm starting to think the real riddle is why I ever thought this was funny." Greg sees an opportunity. That weekend, over pancakes. Ironic, right? He leans in. Greg, "Hey Karen, how many times can you tell that riddle before someone laughs?" Karen, "Not today, Greg." Greg, "No, really, 1, because after that, the joke's not funny anymore." Karen throws a blueberry at his forehead. Direct hit. Aiden, "Mom won breakfast." Karen refuses to be defeated. She hits Reddit, posts the riddle, gets 7 upvotes, 2 downvotes, and 1 guy who wrote a 3-paragraph response analyzing pancake density. Then, in the comments, salvation. "You funny guy 47. Oh man, I told this joke at my wedding. My wife still reminds me I ruined our vows with it. You cereal snob. I used this to distract my roommate while I threw out his 7-year-old box of cornflakes." Karen reads. She laughs. She screenshots. Karen, "Greg, internet says I'm funny. That makes it official." Greg, "Only fail, so validate your IKEA shelf." The next weekend, Karen hosts brunch. Family's over. It's loud. The kind of loud that makes the dogs start therapy. She clinks a spoon on a mug. Karen, "Okay, everyone, I have a riddle. How many pancakes can you eat on an empty stomach?" Aunt Linda, "None. I'm gluten-free." Uncle Rick, "What kind of pancakes? Are we talking banana or buttermilk?" Cousin Dave, "Wait, how big are the pancakes? Like diner style or those sad hotel ones?" Karen sighs. Aiden, "Just let her finish." Karen, "The answer is 1, because after that your stomach's not empty." Uncle Rick, "I got it. You're the pancake." Karen, "I give up. I'm switching to waffle jokes." And that's the saga of Karen and the cursed pancake riddle. Proof that in the world of Reddit funny stories, even the simplest joke can unravel into a full-blown domestic sitcom. Let me tell you a story of persistence, passion, and painfully bad pickup lines. A story about a man named Jerry. Now, Jerry wasn't exactly a ladies' man. In fact, if awkward silences were an Olympic sport, Jerry would have taken home gold, silver, and the participation trophy in a single weekend. But one night, Jerry decided to test his luck at his local bar, the Thirsty Badger. Yes, it was a dive bar. Yes, the jukebox only played Bon Jovi, and Yes, the bartender had a mullet that could slice through drywall, but tonight felt different. Jerry walked in wearing his lucky bowling shirt. It was neon green, 2 sizes too tight, and had Gutter King embroidered on the chest. Confidence was low, pit stains were high. He scanned the room like a confused meerkat, and then he saw her. Sitting at the bar, sipping a cherry cola like she owned the world, was Madeline. Tall, mysterious, with the kind of confidence you only get after escaping a cult or surviving a Zumba class. Jerry approached her with all the swagger of a damp breadstick. Jerry, "Excuse me, miss, may I buy you a drink?" Madeline, without even turning to look, "Sure, but it won't do you any good." Now, most people would take that as a warning. A flashing neon sign screaming abort mission, but not Jerry. Jerry took it as flirting. He ordered 2 drinks, one for her, one for himself, sipped his beer like it was fine wine, and tried again. Jerry, "So do you come here often?" Madeline, "Only when I run out of better life choices." Jerry laughed like she told a joke. She didn't. 30 minutes later, Janny had learned 3 things. Madeline could outdrink a rugby team. She had a master's degree in sarcasm. She really meant it when she said it won't do you any good. But Jerry? He was hooked. He loved a challenge. And besides, she hadn't walked away, which in Jerry's mind meant he was winning. So with liquid courage bubbling in his bloodstream and possibly an overinflated sense of charm, he asked again, "Jerry, may I buy you another drink?" Madeline, "Fine, but it still won't do you any good." Jerry smiled like he just unlocked a new level in a video game. Another drink, another hour, and somehow she agreed to go back to his apartment. Now, let's pause for a second. If this were a rom-com, this would be the part where the music swells. The couple laughs on a rooftop, and someone runs through the rain. But this is Jerry's life. So instead, we got a broken elevator, a nosy neighbor named Gus, and a cat that hates everyone except Madeline. They finally made it inside. Jerry lit some candles. One was apple cinnamon. The other smelled like regret and mildew. He offered her a seat, and she sat like a queen evaluating peasantry. He cleared his throat and said, "Jerry, Madeline, I know you've said it won't do me any good, but you are the most incredible woman I've ever met. I'd be honored to spend my life with someone like you. I want you for my wife." There was a long silence. Then Madeline stood up, walked over to him, looked him dead in the eyes. Madeline, "Oh, that's different." Jerry's heart leapt. Was this it? Had he done the impossible? Then she smiled slyly and said, "Madeline, send her in." Jerry, "Wait, what?" Madeline, "Your wife. You said you wanted me for your wife. So, send her in. And don't forget to close the door on your way out." Jerry stood there, speechless. The kind of stunned silence that only comes from realizing you just got outsassed by a goddess with a cherry cola addiction. Now you might think Jerry was heartbroken, but no. Jerry laughed, because in that moment he realized he'd met his match. And while he didn't get the girl, he got the story. And that's what Reddit Funny Stories is all about, isn't it? Funny fails, awkward tales, and moments that make us feel a little better about our own life choices. 1 week later, Jerry was back at the Thirsty Badger, this time wearing a shirt that said, "Almost got married." Madeline was there too. She raised her glass to him from across the room. And Jerry? He raised his back. He didn't ask to buy her a drink. This time, she bought one for him. If you laughed, cringed, or had to pause to explain the joke to your cat, hit that like button. Drop a comment telling us your most awkward pickup moment. And don't forget to subscribe for more wild, funny, and bizarre tales. All right, folks, buckle in, because this is the kind of story that makes you question everything you know about hospitals, holy men, and human biology. If you've ever had a confusing family tree, trust me, this one branches in every direction. It starts with a girl, a teenager. Let's call her Emily. Sweet, shy, honor roll student, and about as rebellious as a tofu sandwich. So imagine her parents' faces when she drops the bomb. "Mom, Dad, I'm pregnant." Now these weren't the calm, talk-it-out type parents. Oh no, they were the frantic, call the pastor, cry on the cat, start a book-burning kind of parents. So off they go, storming into the office of Dr. Wensley, their longtime family doctor, a man who still used a pager, still called it dropsy when you had the flu, and once told a kid that allergies were just cowardice of the nose. They beg him, "Doctor, you must do something. This will ruin our family, our reputation, our spot on the church council potluck committee." But Dr. Wensley, bless his ancient heart, draws the line. Dr. Wensley, "I will not perform an abortion. It goes against my principles." However, he leans in, voice low, eyes glinting with that classic old man mischief. "Dr. Wensley, when the baby comes, I'll deliver it at my private clinic. Then I'll relocate the baby to a different parent." Emily's parents threw their sobbing paws. "Dad, like a baby switcheroo?" Dr. Wensley, "Exactly. We'll find a woman in for gallbladder surgery. Say it was a mistake. Surprise, it's a boy." "Mom, isn't that illegal?" Dr. Wensley, "So is jaywalking. Nobody seems too bothered about that." Months pass. Emily gives birth, quietly, discreetly, at Dr. Wensley's clandestine clinic behind the bait shop. Don't ask. The plan is in motion. The baby is healthy. Everything's going according to schedule. Except there's no woman checked in, no gallbladder surgery, no routine appendectomy, not even a sprained ankle. There's one patient, just one man, a priest, Father Clarence. Now let me tell you about Father Clarence. He's 57, has the kindest eyes you've ever seen, owns a fish named Ezekiel, and once tried to baptize a parrot. This man has faith. Dr. Wensley, backed into a moral and professional corner, does what no sane person would. He decides to go for it. Father Clarence wakes up groggy, coming out of anesthesia, expecting to hear he had kidney stones removed. Instead, he sees Dr. Wensley holding a baby. Dr. Wensley, "Father, there's been a miracle." Father Clarence, "Miracle?" Dr. Wensley, "Yes, you gave birth to a boy." Now you'd think Father Clarence would scream, faint, demand an exorcism. Nope. He smiles. Father Clarence, "The Lord works in mysterious and apparently anatomically confusing ways." He doesn't question it. He embraces it. He names the child Gabriel and raises him like his own. And Gabriel, he grows up strong, smart, maybe a little too obsessed with holy water. But hey, he's a church kid. Flash forward 21 years. Gabriel's now a young man, sweet, spiritual, plays guitar for the youth group, and has absolutely no idea he's the plot twist in a soap opera. Father Clarence is old now, bedridden, and feeling the weight of a secret that's bigger than any sermon he's ever preached. He calls Gabriel to his side. "Father Clarence, my son, there's something I must confess before I leave this world." Gabriel, "Of course, Father. Anything." Clarence sighs deeply. "Father Clarence, you've always known me as your father, but I'm not your father." Gabriel stares, stunned. "Gabriel, you're not?" Father Clarence, "No, my boy, I'm your mother." Gabriel blinks. He checks to see if this is a joke. It's not. "Father Clarence, you were born in a hospital and handed to me under very bizarre circumstances. I didn't know how to say no, so I said yes and raised you as my own." Gabriel, "Then who? Who's my real father?" Clarence smiles weakly. "Father Clarence, the bishop." Gabriel, I have so many questions." Father Clarence, "So do I, but most of mine are for God." Now Gabriel, bless his heart, never held a grudge. He even turned the whole story into a one-man play at a community theater. Called it The Blessed Bamboozle. Got a standing ovation. Twice. He went on to become a youth counselor, helped kids through identity crises, teen pregnancies, and questionable family trees. As for Dr. Wensley, he retired quietly and now writes mystery novels under the pen name Doc Swap. And the moral of the story? If a priest ever hands you a baby and says, "This is my miracle son," just nod politely and maybe get a second opinion. If you enjoyed this absolutely divine comedy of errors, give that like button a heavenly tap. Got a wild family secret or hospital mix-up? Drop it in the comments below. We want the juicy stuff. And don't forget to subscribe for more hilarious, weird, and wonderfully twisted stories from the wild world of Reddit funny stories.